Hello, everyone. Today I am going to talk about some of the important days related to environment. And I hope this video will be useful for students appearing +3 first semester environmental studies examination. I hope they will have some important dates in mind so that they are able to correctly answer the short questions. Okay. The first important day is World Wetland Day, observed on 2nd February. World Wetland Day is celebrated to create awareness about wetlands and their value to mankind. On February 2nd, 1971, the Ramsar Convention on Wetlands of International Importance was signed at Ramsar in Iran. So what are wetlands, or what is a wetland? Wetlands, or simply a wetland, is a distinct ecosystem that is flooded or saturated by water, either permanently or seasonally. The world's largest wetlands include the Amazon River Basin, the West Siberian Plain, the Pantanal in South America, and the Sundarbans in the Ganges-Brahmaputra Delta. So this was all about World Wetland Day, observed on 2nd February. Now, we have World Wildlife Day, that is observed on 3rd March. Let us know something about this important day. To raise awareness of endangered species and what we all can do, the United Nations is celebrating World Wildlife Day on March 3rd, marking the day the group signed the Convention on International Trade in Endangered Species of Wild Fauna and Flora. So in short, this convention is called CITES. The flora and fauna of a place are its plants and animals. An animal is only placed on the critically endangered species list if the International Union for Conservation of Nature believes the animal faces a very high risk for extinction. Some examples are the orangutans of Borneo, the elephants of Sumatra, and the black rhino, which are all critically endangered species. They are about to be extinct, or they are about to disappear from the face of the earth. 1 million species are on the brink of extinction due to habitat destruction, fossil fuel pollution, and the worsening climate crisis. So if the places where they live, their habitats, they are destroyed, then that is a major reason why many of the species are on the edge of extinction. Okay, they are about to be wiped off the face of the earth. And of course, fossil fuel pollution and other aspects of the climate crisis. They are also responsible for many of the species facing extinction. As this year's theme, Partnerships for Wildlife Conservation. This is the theme of 2023 World Wildlife Day. Partnerships for Wildlife Conservation. This theme highlights that we need to work across governments, civil society, and the private sector to protect the magnificent diversity of life on our planet. Okay, so all of us, whether it's the private sector or the government, or it is talking about us, the people, part of the civil society, we all have to work together to protect the diversity on our planet. Okay, so that is all about World Wildlife Day. Then we have World Forestry Day or International Day of Forests, which is observed every year on 21st March. The day is recognized to create global awareness among people about the importance of forests for the survival of living beings. There are countless benefits of forests in our lives. Some of these include providing food, purifying air, providing resources, helping in combating or fighting climatic changes, poverty alleviation, providing life-saving medicines, maintaining ecological balance, and many more. Reckless and unprecedented deforestation. That means if there is no check on the activity of deforestation, and if there are continued forest fires, droughts, pests, and several other factors, then there is a serious threat to forests. If not controlled on time, these factors will not only affect the climate, but also hinder the prosperity and well-being of current and future generations. So if we are to live sustainably, if we are to protect our environment for the future generations, then we have to take care of our forests, and World Forestry Day highlights this important issue. Okay, then let us go to the next one, which is World Health Day. So you might have this question in mind: why is World Health Day important in connection with the environment? Okay, let's first know how it came to be celebrated. World Health Day is a global health awareness day celebrated every year on 7th April under the sponsorship of the World Health Organization as well as other related organizations. In 1948, the WHO held the first World Health Assembly. The Assembly decided to celebrate 7th April of each year with effect from 1950 as the World Health Day. So that was a history of how this day came to be observed as World Health Day. Among other issues, World Health Day aims to highlight topics that deal with environment-related diseases. And that is how this day is important for us, those of us who are studying environment as part of a course. So it highlights those issues that deal with environment-related diseases, their spread, and preventive measures. Climate change affects the social and environmental determinants of health. So climate change affects health. How? Clean air, safe drinking water, sufficient food, and secure shelter. All these things are required for leading a healthy life. And because of climate crisis, all these things are affected, and therefore the health of human beings, they are affected. So climate change is linked in a significant way to the health of the people. And okay, so you must know between 2030 and 2050, climate change is expected to cause approximately 250,000 additional deaths per year from malnutrition, malaria, diarrhea, and heat stress. So isn't this something to think deeply about? If many health diseases, if many such problems are going to be caused by climate change, then shouldn't we observe World Health Day thinking about how we can protect human beings from the effects of these environmental degradations? Okay, so that is something we must think about in connection with World Health Day. Then the next one is World Heritage Day. The International Day for Monument and Sites, also known as World Heritage Day, is an international observance held on 18th April each year around the world with different types of activities, including visits to monuments and heritage sites, conferences, roundtable and newspaper articles. So why is World Heritage Day an important day connected with the environment? That is because environment also includes our cultural monuments. And World Heritage Day aims to create awareness among the local people about their very valuable heritage sites. Let me give you an example. India's most romantic architectural landmark, the Taj Mahal, has been facing environmental threats to its integrity for years. Despite regulations placing limits on nearby factories, severe air pollution has tinted the white marble yellow, and water pollution from the Yamuna River has turned the marble green, thereby harming the monument's beauty. Okay, so that is why World Heritage Day is also an important day connected with the environment. Okay, then the next one is Earth Day, and it is a very important day. It's observed on 22nd April. Earth Day was first celebrated in 1970 by a group of people in the USA to draw attention to increasing environmental problems caused by humans on Earth. This day is now celebrated all over the world with rallies, festivals, cleanups, special shows, and lectures. Observation of Earth Day now includes a wide range of events coordinated globally by earthday.org. Formerly, this was known as the Earth Day Network. And this includes 1 billion people in more than 193 countries. So the awareness is growing and more countries are becoming aware of the need to observe such a day. The official theme for 2023 is Invest in Our Planet. And that is an important aspect of making people responsible for the planet that they inhabit. Okay. Then the next one is World Biodiversity Day. The International Day for Biological Diversity, or World Biodiversity Day, is a United Nations sanctioned international day for the promotion of biodiversity issues. It is observed on May 22, the date when CBD's text, we will come to know what it is in a minute, when this text was adopted in 1992 by the Nairobi Final Act of the Conference for the Adoption of the Agreed Text of the Convention on Biological Diversity. So that is the full form of CBD, Convention on Biological Diversity. This is informally known as the Biodiversity Convention. It is a multilateral treaty. The convention has 3 main goals. First, the conservation of biological diversity. Second, the sustainable use of its components. And third, the fair and equitable sharing of benefits arising from genetic resources. Okay. Its objective is to develop national strategies for the conservation and sustainable use of biological diversity. And it is often seen as the key document regarding sustainable development. Nowadays, genetic resources are considered very important in the preservation of biodiversity, because from the genes of plants and animals, we can have altogether different and new species, and then they continue the existence of those species on planet Earth. So this concept of considering genes as resources is also very important in connection with biodiversity. Okay, so World Biodiversity Day, May 22nd. Then World Environment Day, and this is something we all know. This is commonly celebrated in institutions. June 5th, we celebrate June 5th as World Environment Day. This marks the anniversary of the Stockholm Conference on Human Environment in Sweden in 1972. And this is a very important conference in the history of worldwide activities related to the preservation of the environment. Okay. Now, this conference was where nations of the world gathered to share their concern over human progress at the expense of the environment. So they discussed how human progress should not be at the expense of the environment. That means progress is not actually progress if it is harming the environment. So World Environment Day has been a platform for raising awareness on environmental issues as marine pollution, overpopulation, global warming, sustainable development, and wildlife crime. World Environment Day 2023 will focus on beating plastic pollution. Okay, so it is going to focus on the damage that plastic is doing to the environment. Okay, so it will focus on beating plastic pollution and will spotlight solutions to the plastic pollution. The year 2023 marks the 50th anniversary of World Environment Day, and this year the host is Cote d'Ivoire, a country in West Africa, in partnership with Netherlands. Okay. So that's all about World Environment Day. Then we have World Population Day. Every year on July 11, World Population Day is commemorated to increase public awareness of concerns related to population growth. The United Nations Development Programme created World Population Day in 1989, an extension of the interest generated by the Day of 5 billion. And this is an important day in the study of the history of population increase. Okay, the Day of the 5 billion, which was observed on 11 July 1987. At that time, the world population was 5 billion. Now it is more than 8 billion. The United Nations Population Fund, formerly the United Nations Fund for Population Activities. Earlier, it was the United Nations Fund for Population Activities, and that is why we have the abbreviation as UNFPA. Okay. So this UN agency aimed at improving reproductive and maternal health worldwide. Now, UNFPA works to support family planning, and that is how this organization is important in connection with World Population Day. Okay, it works to support family planning by ensuring a steady, reliable supply of quality contraceptives, strengthening national health systems, advocating for policies supportive of family planning, and gathering data to support this work. Okay, so that's all regarding World Population Day. Then we have something called the Hiroshima Day. Hiroshima Day is observed on August 6 every year. It aims to promote peace against war. This day is a reminder of the bombing attack on Hiroshima by the United States during the Second World War. On this day in 1945, the American bomber B-29 dropped a 5-ton atomic bomb on the Japanese city of Hiroshima. The nuclear bomb that was dropped on Hiroshima city was named Little Boy. The bomb destroyed about 4 square miles of the city and killed 80,000 people. In the weeks following, thousands more died from wounds and radiation. Now, why is this particular day important for us Indians? Okay, though we did not experience the disasters in Hiroshima directly, but this day is important for us as it would serve to raise awareness about our own tragedies, like the Bhopal gas tragedy and the Chernobyl disaster. Okay, so this day is an important day to be observed every year on August 6th. Then we have World Ozone Day. We all know about the importance of ozone. So September 16 is observed as the World Ozone Day. It was proclaimed by the United Nations as the International Day for Preservation of the Ozone Layer. The day marks the Montreal Protocol, and this is an important event. Okay. This day marks the Montreal Protocol signed in 1987 to control production and consumption of ozone depleting substances. So what was this protocol all about? It was about controlling the production and consumption of ozone depleting substances, those substances that cause harm to the ozone layer, that destroy the ozone layer. Okay, the ozone layer, a fragile shield of gas, protects the earth from the harmful portion of the rays of the sun, thus helping preserve life on the planet. So what are some ozone depleting substances that we must know about? Halocarbon chemicals, that is carbon linked with halogens, fluorine, chlorine, bromine, etc. Especially those containing bromine have high ozone depleting potential. Then methyl bromide, methyl chloroform, carbon tetrachloride, and families of chemicals known as halogens, chlorofluorocarbons, that is CFCs, and hydrochlorofluorocarbons, HCFCs, also cause the depletion of the ozone layer. So these are some of the substances, okay, whose production and consumption needs to be controlled if we want to protect the ozone layer, and that was what the Montreal Protocol was all about, which was signed in 1987. Okay. So World Ozone Day, celebrated on September 16, is another important day. Then we have Green Consumer Day. What is this? Green Consumer Day is celebrated worldwide on September 28th every year to create an awareness of bringing a green and clean, pollution-free environment. This has something to do with consumers, that is us. Okay, this day depicts the issues and impacts of consumerism over the environment. How we consume things determines whether our environment will be protected or not. Okay, many awareness programs are conducted on this day to teach people about the significance of recycling, reusing, and reducing waste materials. Okay, this is very important, which we all must know, and we must try to, apply these concepts in our day-to-day lives. What is recycling of waste material, and how do we reduce the amount of waste lying here and there? Okay, all these things are important, and we must be aware. The day aims to make people aware of the use of eco-friendly products, which avoids pollution. So if we change our habits and if we adopt the use of eco-friendly products in our day-to-day lives, then as consumers, we will also be helping the earth to be healthy. Okay. Economic, social, and cultural forces have set the framework for green consumerism. So this habit of using eco-friendly products and this habit of reducing waste materials, recycling waste materials, they come under the concept of green consumerism. And all kinds of different economic, social, and cultural forces, they are behind this attitude of green consumerism. This is because it is a social attitude and movement in the modern era, especially aimed at encouraging people to be more aware of the firm's production processes and only to buy or use products and services that do not harm the environment. So it's not like we should be blind consumers. Whatever we are consuming, whatever we are buying, we should be aware of how those things have been produced by a particular company. Okay, whether the company has produced these products, these commodities, these things in an environment friendly way, or environment has been harmed during the production process. Depending upon that, we will either buy the product or we will reject the product. So that is the concept behind observing Green Consumer Day on September 28th. Okay. Then we have something called the National Wildlife Week in India. Okay, we are celebrating National Wildlife Week from 2nd to 8th October every year. The Indian Board of Wildlife established Wildlife Week in 1952 to increase awareness about the long-term aims of wildlife protection through India. Wildlife Day was first observed in 1955, but later in 1957 it was renamed Wildlife Week. The week comprises workshops to make people of every age understand the complexities of wildlife. Okay, so National Wildlife Week is observed all over India from 2nd to 8th October every year. Wildlife Week was started with the aim of raising awareness among the public regarding important measures for the protection of wildlife. Against this backdrop, the Indian government has created an Indian Wildlife Council that is committed to raising awareness about the conservation of wildlife. Okay, so this is an important observation if we want to conserve our wildlife. Thank you for listening. I hope this video will be useful for you, not just for the purpose of the examination, but also it will help you to be more aware individuals regarding various issues affecting the environment. Thank you.